What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another tactical collaboration with the always amazing GYRFM. Today Gareth has taken a look at Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, that 4-3-3 that is absolutely tearing up the league and all the other competitions basically right now. They are still on to win a quadruple at the time of recording. I'm recording this just so you guys know on a Friday. This is the Friday before Liverpool take on Everton in the Merseyside derby. So Editor Jack, how did they get on? Amazing performance by Liverpool, or how did Everton manage to sneak that? I've got no idea. I'm just playing with it. Let's just see. Fingers crossed. So today we are going to take a look at this 4-3-3, which has been designed around the Liverpool team and how the players in those roles work. And we've done a simulation with Liverpool, and you're going to want to see the results of that. But if you do like the tactical side of stuff, guys, please do drop a like on the video down below. It really does help me out. And subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And whilst you're down there, head into that description and give GYRFM a follow. His links will be down there as well, his Twitter, his Twitch, and his Discord server. But without any further ado, let's dive in and take a look at this simulation that we ran with Liverpool. So guys, we're going to start off on the competition screen, and I did say that they are on for a quadruple in real life. In this test with this recreation, the quadruple was secured. Now I'm wondering if this is going to be a little bit of a foresight into this season. They won the Carabao Cup here. Who was that against, out of curiosity? Okay, that was against Arsenal. They won the Emirates FA Cup. Who was that against? Blackburn. Fair play to Blackburn for getting there. They won the Champions League against Man City. That is definitely on and something that could happen. And then they win the Premier League by 20 points, basically. 104 points for them in the league. That's not going to happen. They're not going to get that many points, but they could still win the Premier League. It is still possible. As I said, I don't know the latest weekend's fixtures and results at this time. So at the present moment, I think Man City are a point ahead. Who knows what's happened this weekend? As I said, I'm recording this before this weekend's fixtures. But yeah, it's a very, very good recreation, and you can see a lot of goals. If we go into this Premier League season and expand things a little bit, you can take a look at it. 34 victories out of the 38 games, 2 draws, 2 losses. The 2 draws coming at home to Wolves and away to Tottenham, and the 2 losses away to Leeds and away to Brighton. It's not even like they lost to one of the big boys. So with this tactic, 128 goals scored and 30 goals conceded. 98 goal difference is ridiculous as well, and obviously that 104 points level. If we go into the schedule and take a look at stuff, I wanted to break down one of these games for you. And the one that I kind of wanted to look at was the Champions League final against Manchester City. Now, obviously, they got all the way to the final, and these two teams have been playing each other a lot recently. And we're just going to have a look at how the game played out, basically. We're going to watch the goals and see what this tactic really did. So 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is the first thing that I've noticed in goal for Liverpool here. So they've won this Champions League final without Alisson and without Van Dijk. Matip, Konate, Robertson and Trent were the back four. Obviously Trent doing very, very well here. Fabinho, Henderson and Thiago as the midfield three. Salah, Mane, and started with Firmino, but Jota got a goal, so I assume it was Jota who came on. The Man City team, as you kind of would expect, Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Silva and KDB, Sterling, Foden and Gabriel Jesus there. In terms of everything though, guys, it looks like on the stats, pretty even game, but Liverpool slightly more clinical with their 7 shots on target to Man City's 3, slightly higher XG as well, and doing really, really good things. Let's take a look at this game, and we're going to watch the goals, and we're going to see it from a direct the analyst perspective, so you can kind of see how this team moves and is so similar to how Liverpool score their goals. So we're actually going to rewind this a little bit further back, so because the highlight starts here with Konate, you're going to see these diagonal balls which just rip teams apart. So Konate's here, and he's just able to get it into Fabinho, who turns and then hits that diagonal ball into the path of Salah, who can run into that space and cause the fullback some issues. Yes, he's forced really wide here, but he manages to knock it back to Trent and then work his way inside. Nice little interchange with Henderson, and then Mo Salah comes in and does Mo Salah things, left-footed, finessed into that top corner, leaving Ederson no chance. This is the type of movement that this tactic will create for you. Obviously, there are some certain specifics that come down to being Liverpool, and let's have a look at this Jota goal as well. So obviously they've switched ends here now, coming from a throw-in on this right-hand side with Trent, throws it into Salah, and then look at Trent absolutely bombing down this right right hand side, as you do see Trent. Yes, he is listed as an inverted wing back on this, but people get too caught up with that. I'll explain that in a minute. Henderson then looks over, and then look at the movement that is here. Because of the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold is there, Cancelo is forced to run over to him, giving Mo Salah all this space to just run straight into, which he does, and then the defense doesn't know what to do. But Liverpool in this instance move the ball back across, and then it's the other movement, and Salah is always looking, always menacing. There's a big gap here, which if they don't close off Man City, they are going to concede, which they ultimately do. The ball goes back out to Salah. Cancelo being pulled left, right and centre, goes back to Fabinho, into Curtis Jones, into Henderson. Look at this, knocking it around. Lovely from Liverpool here. Fabinho goes into Henderson. Nice touch here. Gets it out of his feet. In this position, you do not want Jordan Henderson to shoot, but he holds the ball for just long enough for Laporte to commit to him. Then the pass goes in, comes into Jota, and then Jota's in one-on-one and slots at the near post to win Liverpool the Champions League. And this will obviously be the last game of the season, so a very impressive quadruple. Now, we don't usually go through a lot of the highlights and stuff like that in these tactic tests, but I thought because this is a recreation, it's important to show you how it actually got on. I will stress that we aren't going to run through this now, but this is kind of designed for Liverpool. We've not really tested this with any other teams, so don't plug this into your Accrington Stanley save and say, Steve, this tactic's rubbish, it doesn't work. It's been designed for Liverpool. We don't know if it will work with other teams. So let's dive into this tactic and we will break it down. We will quick pick without restriction the best 11, so you can kind of see the players and the roles that this is kind of designed for. There is that injury to Van Dijk. He's broken his ankle in this save, which is not great, and a torn abdominal muscle for Alisson, meaning they were the reasons why they didn't make the Champions League final. I'm going to run through this tactic and break it down, but there is a link in the description to FM Scout where you can go and download this. If you are on PC or are on Mac, you can just put it into your tactics folder and import it exactly as Gareth intended. If you are on Xbox or playing the game in a different way, please follow these steps to make it exactly as it is intended. If you are intending to use this with Liverpool, or if you do want to try it with some other teams, let us know how you get on. We've got a sweeper keeper in goal on attack duties. That is how Alisson plays. He comes out and gets the ball pretty quickly and can play it with his feet. He has the additional instruction here of tackle harder. So the additional instructions, guys, are the ones with the white cog and the red circle attached to them, and you add them by going into the edit menu, and in this instance it's tackle harder right there. So now we move on. Inverted wing back on attack. Now we see this mentioned a lot in tactics at the moment, the inverted wing back on attack, and the assumption is that he's just going to just bomb in here and play in here. It doesn't do that really. It does offer that support here, but it also breaks him back out on this wing to overlap Salah as well if completely required, and Trent is the perfect person to play this position if you ask me. The inverted wing back is designed around him and like players like Cancelo and stuff like that. The sort of more technical people on the ball is exactly what this role is attributed to. He has the additional instructions of shoot less often and tackle harder. Then we move across the defense. We have two ball playing defenders here. They are both on defensive duty and they both have the same additional instructions, which are stay wider and tackle harder. Then we've got Robbo, the wing back on support on the left hand side. He has the additional instructions of tackle harder, stay wider, shoot less often and cross more often, getting those balls into the penalty areas, into the channels and stuff like that. Then you have the linchpin, in my opinion, of this tactic. You have Fabinho as the deep lying playmaker on support duty. People see Fabinho a lot as a defensive midfielder. I actually think he has the attributes to really be a deep lying playmaker. Yes, he can break the play down, but he also has a good range of passing that can really start opening the attacks. And obviously you saw some of the passing, his range of passing, the diagonal balls out to Salah in that Champions League final and stuff. He's really got it. So he has the additional instructions of close down more, tackle harder and mark tighter. Central midfielder on support duty. That screams Jordan Henderson to me. Now the central midfielder role is brilliant because you can kind of tailor it exactly how you want. There's no role instructions on this, but there are many additional instructions of take more risks, cross more often, shoot less often, roam from position, tackle harder and mark tighter. Next to him, Thiago Alcantara with the roaming playmaker role. This is all what he's he's about. He's the man making Liverpool tick right at the moment. Got all the plaudits for the 4-0 victory against Manchester United, with the additional instructions of dribble more, shoot less often, tackle harder, and mark tighter. He is going to be the man to sort of roam around, float about, and create these chances. Now, moving to the front three, we've got Salah, Mane and Robert Firmino here. We are going to go to Salah first, inside forward on attack duty, with the additional instructions of stay wider and tackle harder. Obviously, as the inside forward, they're going to be trying to cut in, as Salah did, picked up the ball in this position here, cut into the penalty area, and then finessed it around Ederson in that example that we showed you. That is exactly what the inside forward is supposed to do. On the other flank, we have Sadio Mane as the inside forward on attack. Slightly different here. He has the additional instructions of tackle harder and close down more. Then up front we have Roberto Firmino as a pressing forward, which I think in this gegenpress system is exactly what he is doing. He is dribbling more and shooting less often, creating these chances then for Mane and for Salah. In terms of the style, it is a custom 4-3-3, but if you guys are creating this yourself, just use clean slate and follow all the instructions and you will get exactly the same results. The mentality is a attacking mentality, and in possession this is how we're looking. We are attacking width is set to wide, we are passing shorter and at an extremely high tempo. We are low crossing into that final third, into that penalty area, and we are working the ball into the box. In terms of our dribbling, we are running at the defense a little bit more as well, as you do see Diaz, Salah, etc., Mane doing in this Liverpool team. When the possession has been lost, we are counter pressing and we are countering when possession has been won. This is a gegenpress, so this is kind of what you expect out of this sort of tactic. And then out of possession, this is how we are looking. A much higher line of engagement, a much higher defensive line. We are squeezing the opposition into their own half, forcing them to hit the long ball. We are triggering the press much more often. We are preventing that short goalkeeper distribution, and we are using get stuck in on your tackling. If you are noticing that many players of yours are picking up yellow cards, just take that off just for a few games and see how it works. In terms of some of the goals scored on this team though, Mo Salah, top goal scorer for the team with 56 goals. Sadio Mane got 20. Firmino 17. Jota 14. Curtis Jones 14. Luis Diaz 12. Virgil van Dijk 12. Joel Matip 10. This team is very good, obviously, as you would expect, but it's also about how they create the chances. In terms of some of the player stats, Mo Salah, the top goal scorer for the club with 56. Trent with the highest average rating. He also got 23 assists from that inverted wing back on attack. Mo Salah, the most man of the matches. In terms of the Premier League, it's no real surprises here. It was the best in terms of goals scored. It was the best in terms of goals conceded. That's how you win the division by 20 points, boys and girls. But it also was the worst in terms of yellow cards. Maybe you do need to take off that get stuck in from time to time, and it was the best in terms of red cards, only picking up 1. Trent did get 2, but obviously one of those was in a cup competition. So guys, that is GYRFM's Klopp's Carnage. What do you think of this 4-3-3? Do you think it's an accurate representation of how Liverpool play and how Liverpool are playing right now? And would you use this in your side? Would you try and replicate this style with a different team? If you do think that, let me know down in the comments. Gareth and I are always open to having a discussion about these tactics. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and don't forget to check out GYRFM down in the description as well. If you like this tactical stuff, there will be a video on the screen right now annotated, so you can go and check out another collaboration between myself and GYRFM. Till next time, take care guys.